What's going on everyone, TomGorian here, and welcome back to another episode of the F1 22 Carlin Career Mode series. Today we're getting ready for round 15 of the Season 2 Championship. We are here in Miami, at the Miami Autodrome Circuit. It's the Miami Grand Prix, and as you'll see, around about now, we've actually made a lot of gains in the progress history. As you can see, we've had 2 or 3 rushed upgrades to the point where we're now arguably the 4th best team in Formula 1. We've now overtaken McLaren and also Haas and also Alpine in the vehicle performance comparison. We got 2 rushed upgrades. I think it was one for the chassis and another one for the aerodynamics as well. Go and check out the last video if you didn't watch the last video, and also follow playlist and also subscribe for more F1 22 content. As you can see here, we've got nearly 2,000 resource points, so we're going to try and see what we can do with these resource points, and I think we're going to go and get a durability upgrade, at least in this episode. I don't know if it's before qualifying or after qualifying, but we need to get some performance upgrades. As you can see, we have the 4th best aerodynamics on the car, but the chassis, we have the 3rd worst chassis, so I think we need to probably just even out the chassis and also the aerodynamics, because if we can get the 4th best chassis, or maybe even the 3rd best, overtake Red Bull there, and even make gains on Mercedes, we could really be in the mix for the championship this season. Powertrain, I don't think we're going to really be needing any more powertrain upgrades unless Ferrari and Red Bull catches up in the powertrain performance cycle, but we probably need to work on our durability as we're heading towards pretty much the end of the first quarter of the championship. As you can see there, the rivalry with Pierre Gasly was 17-11, and I think in this video we might be able to finish off that rivalry with Pierre Gasly. But heading into this weekend, it's going to be very interesting as far as the weather is concerned. It's literally going to be raining at the end of qualifying, so coming in towards this qualifying session, the weather is actually going to be raining towards the end of the session, so it's very important that we try and get a lap on the board here as early as possible. As you can see, we're just about approaching the end of the first lap of qualifying, and as you can see, there's Sergio Perez. I don't know if he's on a run or not. I think he might be on his out lap, but he's not getting out the way as we enter literally the final corner, and we try and brake, but he gives us contact, and yeah, he gave us front wing damage there, and just out of frustration, I just put him in the wall, because Sergio Perez deserves it. He literally didn't get out the way in my qualifying run, so yeah, I just put him in the wall. So yeah, take that, you little Mexican. Okay, whatever. Anyway, he didn't get out the way, that's the whole point. Anyway, coming towards the end of the session, and we have got to get a lap on the board, otherwise we'll probably be out of Q1, and the car actually does have pace around here with the understanding of the setup. I was able to play with the setup just a little bit. Most of my running I was doing was in Q3 on the soft tyres, so as you can see, around about now we are through. In towards Q2, we're in 9th place. As you can see as well, Daniel Ricciardo has a 5 position penalty, a 5 grid place penalty. Don't know what that was about, but David Beckman once again didn't make it in towards Q2, so I really think for when his contract negotiations come up, when his contract ends after the Austria Grand Prix, I might have to get myself a new teammate, because he hasn't been doing anything, and if I want to be winning the Constructors title, if we have the car of course, by the end of the season, I need a teammate who can literally match me and also score points. But as you can see, we set our first lap in Q2, and we're in P11, so we're going to try and get out slightly early before the rain comes. But as you'll see, around about now, the rain is actually starting to fall, and it actually falls around about now, so we've actually left it a little bit, we've left it too late as we enter the long left-hander, and as you can see, there it is, first drops of rain, and that is it. It's going to be raining, and we're not going to be able to get a lap on the board. We are officially out of qualifying P11 in Miami, and that's a shame, because I felt like we would have had the pace to make it into Q3 if we had one last run. Because it was raining, no DRS, no point going out. It's very painful. We could have look at the gap there, man. It's very painful to go out in P11, but we've got it all to do in the race.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the NFL outfit, the Miami Dolphins. Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around Hard Rock Stadium. These conditions should prove especially difficult for our drivers today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. A fantastic effort from Esteban Ocon yesterday, and it's put him on pole. Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Verstappen, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Ricciardo, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Gasly and Thomas, Bottas, Tsunoda, Guan Yu Zhou and Russell, Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, David Beckman and Alex Albon, Schwartzman, Stroll, Latifi and Sergio Perez completes our grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. It's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are three big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
So because of a penalty to George Russell, we've actually been promoted to P10 for the start of this Miami Grand Prix. But as you can see, it's intermediate conditions and it'll be raining for pretty much most of the race. According to the weather forecast, which is on Approxima, it's going to be raining for the first half of this race and then dry for the second half. But with this game, you can never tell when the rain will stop or when the rain will come, or when the track will be dry or wet, or vice versa. So as you can see, I'm just alternating the setup right here. I'm just adding some tyre pressure on, not too much, because I am thinking that the race will somehow be fully dry to the point where we might have to go on medium tyres, or if it's completely early, hard tyres. Well, hard tyres. I don't know how long the rain will last in this race, but we've secured P10 thanks to a grid penalty, so as long as we finish in the top 10, that's fine.
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate. This race in these conditions will require a lot of focus. Almost ready to take the start of the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Okay, here we go. The start of this wet Miami Grand Prix here at Miami. Doesn't usually rain in Miami. It's not really known for its coldness and its weather like a home, but we've got P10 on the grid, and as long as we can finish inside the top 10, maybe 8th, 7th if we're lucky, that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to score low points to begin this season, trying to build momentum as we enter the second half of this season. It's 5 red lights here for the Miami Grand Prix. and it's lights out and away we go. Cautious start for everyone. Oscar Piastri goes directly towards the racing line, and once again we've had a slow start down in towards 10-1. We're going to go down in the inside of Pierre Gasly. It's 3 wide between us and the AlphaTauris, and we've already made a position as we enter the swooping right-hander, and as you can see, the conditions and just the traction is absolutely horrendous as we enter sector 2. As you can see, we go a little bit wide, and there's George Russell. Is that George Russell? Yeah, it is George Russell. Tries to go around the outside of us, and I can't lie, the first 3 or 4 laps I had absolutely no confidence in these intermediate conditions. I'm not even running a full intermediate setup, I'm just running a makeshift dry wet in like setup, and as you can see, Russell goes around the outside of us. He has a superior car, but we're going to fight it because we need all the points we need. It's going to be 3 wide in towards the hairpin, and we have to try and just somehow avoid Yuki Tsunoda and also George Russell, and we hold on to P9 in this race. Now, I will say this, the AI in front of us was completely out of my league. I don't know what the hell. I mean, I was running 102, and I think a lot of drivers who play career mode, they're going to be running between 105 and 102. But as you can see, Tsunoda goes back down the inside. But that train, Ricciardo, Piastri, the Red Bulls, the Ferraris, and I think Hamilton as well, Ocon who actually got pole position, believe it or not, which is weird. But their pace in these conditions was ridiculous. I think they were gaining like a second per lap. And meanwhile, there's me in Nowhereville, just, I can't even put the power down into 4th gear. And that was pretty much the story of this race. And as you'll see, round about now, this was literally the story of the race. Tsunoda goes down the inside in towards 10-1. We make slight contact with him, but we hold on in this race. And this is the story. Just me holding on. And look at this. You've got George Russell and Yuki Tsunoda going 3 wide again in towards turn 1, and I just feel like there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do as far as traction. You know, I don't know if I can do anything with the front brake bias or the differential, but these AI were simply all over me in this race, and the only sector that I was really able to get anything out was really sector 2. As you can see, Russell, I had to make a late move there. I had to make a late move just to cover off Russell, but there he goes again, down the inside. We bang wheels, but I just can't hold them off forever, and I think eventually there's going to be a time where I either make a mistake or go wide or lock up, and now as you can see, I'm battling with everybody. George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly. Tsunoda goes down the inside, and the AI do have somewhat of a desperation, and as you can see, the gap between Norris, you know, Piastri and myself, already 9 laps in, 17, yes, 17 seconds to the car ahead. So I don't know what the hell I was doing wrong in this race, but clearly my pace compared to the AI ahead of me was just absolutely ridiculously slow, because Tsunoda, Gasly and Russell were just all over me like a rash in this race. But sector 2, I felt like I was gaining, that was probably the sector I was gaining the most out of the AI, as once again Tsunoda goes around the outside in towards turn 1. We've got to hold on here, and now it's not a matter of just, you know, battling the AI for 2 points. We've got to try and get every single point we can get out of this stage of the season. Every point matters. We need to get some momentum behind us. We've already scored in Jeddah and Melbourne, and now we want to try and get back in the score sheet in this race in round 4. But yeah, sector 1, I mean, every lap the track was improving. I was gaining a lot of green times. There it goes again. Pierre Gasly in that AlphaTauri, and we have to do a late switchback down the inside in towards the hairpin. We slightly missed the apex there, but we make that move work. That's a brilliant move from us there. Gasly went down the inside, and we saw a gap there. At the last moment, we literally went for the gap, and we took it, and we're back in P9. But it's literally not doing us any favours, as there's a green flag out, and I don't know who that's for. Gasly tries to go around the outside of us in towards the S section. Lance Stroll is out of the Miami Grand Prix, so I don't know what the hell happened to Lance Stroll. and I think, yeah, as you can see, he just pulled off to one side. Both Red Bulls did not have a good race. I think they started like P17 or something, but Lance Stroll has an engine issue, and he is out of this Miami Grand Prix, which does not do us any favours, because Aston Martin have a Mercedes engine, and we also have a Mercedes engine. But look at that purple sector, and this is what I'm talking about. Over this race, I do feel like in Sector 2 I was gaining around about 9 tenths per second, maybe 1.2 seconds over the AI behind us. So now we enter lap 16, and the AI are coming towards their pit stops, and I thought it was literally just going to be a one stop from inters to dry tyres, but clearly not, and it looks like we're going to have to make probably 2 stops in this race. As we enter the long left-hander, Beckman is back in. Beckman's coming in, and there's a safety car that is out. I don't know what the hell happened. Has Beckman got damage? Has Beckman got a damaged front wing? No, he's literally coming out the pits. So, what the hell has happened? So, what is the reason for the safety car? There's a Williams. Is that Latifi? Is that Latifi? No, it's not. It's Albon. Oh my god. Albon is literally in the middle of the track. I think Alex Albon has deliberately caused that safety car. Look at the position of the car. Why is he just parked there? Why has he done that? I think Williams have deliberately caused a safety car. I don't know, but it does look like that way. Alexander Albon has literally caused a safety car in this race. And by the way, that's a little blooper that you weren't meant to see, but here we are again. That was a BS pit lane violation, and now we're coming in for our actual pit stop. But that was actually quite weird how the safety car came out, but now all we need to do is just have a decent pit stop, and hopefully we should be in 9th place as we come in, and it's the front right tyre that takes too long. We've lost literally 2.5 seconds. Oh no. 2.5 seconds, and that is literally the difference between 9th and 11th. We got a purple optimal time, but that's not enough, and we've now dropped 2 positions to both Russell and Gasly. Oh, great. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot for that. That's... I really needed that. Literally, the pit stop, the safety car came out at the exact right time, and the pit team, once again this season, have literally potentially ruined our chances. Leclerc is actually in the lead with Ocon in 2nd, Sainz in 3rd, Verstappen in 4th. As you can see, some of the rundown, Hamilton in 5th, Ricciardo, Piastri, Norris, Russell, Gasly, and then there's myself. Beckman is in P15, I'm not sure, but as we get ready to go green flag running, we're back underway for this Miami Grand Prix. And as you can see, Tsunoda tries to go around the outside, but Gasly brakes super early, and we go down the inside of Pierre Gasly like it was literally nothing, and now we're back into P10 in this race. So hopefully, as long as we get something out of this race, then that is all I can ask for. Now, coming in towards lap 20, why did I go for that? Why did I go for that move? I do not know why. All I should have done is really followed Piastri down in towards the hairpin, but now that's compromised my run on Piastri, and now Gasly is now all over us, and that was the wrong move to do. I have to be honest. I don't know why I tried to force the move on the inside of that little Mickey Mouse section, but Gasly hits Piastri, and we have to hold it again back around the outside, and look at us fighting on the car there for the traction. And yeah, once that lap was over, that little train of Russell and Piastri and Ricciardo, they were literally gone, and there was literally nothing I could do. And you know, it's just a shame. We could have really been fighting for P10 in this race, well, P9, or maybe even P8 in this race if we got lucky with that safety car and stuff in the pit stop. But we have to take every point that we can get in this second season. But now, as you can see, Kevin Magnussen is all over us. He goes down the inside in towards the stadium section, and yeah, that caught me off surprise there. And now we've just got 2 laps to try and hold on of Kevin Magnussen, and if we can hold on, at least we've got a point in this race. It should have been really 2 points, but literally, it's something at least. As Magnussen tries to go around the outside, we were covering the racing line, and just the contact there just forced Magnussen to hit the wall, and unfortunately he's hit us again, and that was Magnussen's only attempt at making an overtake, and that didn't work. So coming through the final corner, it's been probably the hardest earned 1 point in this entire season, but a point is a point.
Here we are then, a phenomenal Miami Grand Prix. What a great show of skill from our race winners today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed. I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit, familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again.
Another victory for the world champion Charles Leclerc, with Esteban Ocon getting his first podium of the season. It's a Ferrari 1-3 in this season, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't know how to feel about that race. We could have gotten more. We should have gotten more. If it wasn't for that pit stop, we could have been 9th or 8th. But yeah, we had to fight our way back again because of the pit team. I'm going to be having words to the pit crew about that, because they nearly cost us today. They cost us 1 point, literally. But we scored 10th. That's the best that we can do. As long as we can score lower end points at this stage of the championship, the first quarter of the season, and then slowly but surely work our way up through there, then that's all that matters. But as you can see, Russell, driver of the day, Piastri, Beckman, 15th. I probably need a different teammate. I think once his contract comes up, I think I'm not going to be able to resign David Beckman, because I want a teammate that's literally matching me. And if he's finishing 15th, then I'm literally wasting my time. But that is that for this video. Make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe for more F1 22 content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.